Hello. One of the things I most long to see as a pastor is men being able to talk more openly and freely about mental health issues and struggles. This doesn't come naturally to us. There's an awful lot of laying aside male pride and bravado. But guys, wouldn't it be liberating if we were just able to drop the front when actually it costs us such energy to maintain that front when we're not feeling strong? By the way, I'm not talking about bottles of Sauvignon Blanc, packs of tissues and an open fire. I mean just being able to say, mate, I'm struggling. A couple of days ago, I talked about the transactional life, where we do things to intentionally secure physical, emotional or spiritual reward. The problem that I guess we face is society projects more images of manhood being about strength and success than it does about emotional intelligence and recognising that all human beings, male and female alike, are emotional beings. Sigmund Freud, the famous psychiatrist, commented, "Unexpressed emotions never die, they are buried alive and will always come forth later in uglier ways." The Bible has several male role models who combine strength with an awareness of their emotions. Of all the men in the Bible, the person I think of most when I think of a strong male leader is King David, commander of armies, king. But in Psalm 25, David talks about his feelings, saying, "Turn to me and be gracious to me, for I'm lonely and afflicted. Relieve the troubles of my heart and bring me out of my distress. Consider my affliction and my trouble, and forgive all my sins." David was lonely. In all the apparent strength and success of his position as a ruler, he didn't have the relationships that he wanted. And that's the funny thing about loneliness. You can be constantly surrounded by people, yet if they're not the people you desire to be around, you can be lonely. Loneliness is that gap between the relationships you have and the ones you want. If you're lonely today, perhaps not surprisingly given the current measures of self-isolation and distancing, but if before this coronavirus pandemic you felt lonely, you're not alone. There are apparently 1 in 5 people in the UK struggling with loneliness. In short bursts, that's one of those unpleasant experiences which is a normal part of life. However, if loneliness continues over a period of time, it can become more problematic. We can begin to worry about our self-worth or even become depressed. I suspect, going back to King David, that the loneliness he suffered was for a season, but notice how he handles it. He's honest about his loneliness before God, or to put it another way, he prays. If you're battling with loneliness at present, maybe you've been struggling with it for some time and you struggle to talk openly about those feelings with others, try describing your feelings to God. What have you got to lose? Father, you know the times when we struggle, our times of internal disquiet and loneliness. Relieve our struggles by your heavenly grace and send your Holy Spirit to encourage and guide. In Jesus' name.